Thank you for kind introduction. It's a long day, right? I will talk about the AI and behavioral change, encouraging physical activity through the technology. Today, we are exploring the role of AI in lifestyle modification, and specifically, I'd like to focus on how artificial intelligence can help promote physical activity. As many of you know, AI has the potential to play a wide range of roles in cardiovascular medicine. It can analyze data, assist diagnostics, help with disease phenotyping, predicting outcome, and even supporting treatment decision. In fact, I believe we are now standing at the doorstep of truly personalized medicine made possible through these powerful AI tools. So, to describe this new era of medicine, something that goes beyond traditional practice, the term metaclinical medicine has emerged. If modern medicine was built around evidence-based practice, then metaclinical medicine is defined by the use of AI diagnostic tool, big data analysis, and wearable and smart sensors on the right way. For continuous monitoring, this represents a more personalized and data-driven approach to patient care. So, as many of you already know, in the past, a patient prognosis was often thought to be primarily determined by the stage or severity of disease. But now, we clearly understand that physical activity also plays a significant role in predicting outcomes. In fact, there have already been efforts to track physical activity using wearable devices, treating it as a kind of digital biomarker. For example, in patients with advanced lung cancer, so when we compare the predicted power, it turns out that these digital biomarkers actually performed better than traditional tools. Now devices that track physical activity and frailty are being developed as digital biomarker. This tool can tell us how much time patients spending working, sitting, or moving around during the day. And beyond that, there's ongoing research trying to use this device to predict things like chemotherapy relapse in cancer patients. One study, when patients wore these harness-style monitors, their digital data combined with traditional ECG scores gave better prediction for cancer recurrence than ECG alone. It shows how useful these tools can be when used together. Also, when we use this digital harness-type device as a digital biomarker, the more sensor-driven the pictures we collect, the more accurate that the data becomes. In fact, by gathering enough of this information, we can even start to access patient frailty or identify specific frailty phenotyping using this method. That's no surprise to any of you here, since we all know how critical physical activity is for our patients. In fact, WHO published the guideline in 2020 that emphasized this. They recommended at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic physical activity per week for adults, or at least 75 minutes or vigorous intensity activity. For adult age 65 and older, WHO recommends multi-component physical activity like strength and balanced exercise. As you many already know, the benefit of physical activity go far beyond the general wellness. It's been shown to lower all-cause mortality, reduce the risk of cancer and cardiovascular death, even help prevent conditions like depression, dementia, and hip fractures. And physical activity doesn't just affect the health outcomes, it also has a proven impact on cognitive function. This is true for both men and women, highlighting its importance across the board. There have been many community-based reports an initiative aimed at increasing physical activity. A lot of research has explored different ways to promote it, and some studies, especially those with larger sample size or larger or longer intervention period, have shown meaningful effect. But overall, when we look at the data from a broad perspective, it's still difficult to say that these efforts have been truly effective in promoting physical activity on a consistent basis. So, how can AI help promote physical activity? One area where AI can make a real difference is through wearable devices and mobile apps. This technology can provide personalized feedback and motivational support tailored to each individual. One way AI can support physical activity is through AI chatbot or even virtual coaches that help correct posture and offer real-time guidance. Maybe Dr. Hee-sun Lee showed us. But beyond just the guidance, we also need to drive behavioral change that can come through rewards, gamification, goal setting, or even social influence. So, in this study, participants wore a wristband tracker called Fitbit Flex 1. For 6 weeks, they received daily feedback from a chatbot. The chatbot monitored their daily activity levels and step counts, encouraging them to be more active day by day. So, what did the results show? If we look at the daily step over the time, the 7-day average step count increased as the study progressed. Participants were taking more steps toward the end of the study compared to the beginnings. Not only that, the increase in step count was statistically significant when compared to baseline. Overall, total physical activity also improved, showing that this kind of AI-supported feedback can really help people move more. Another interesting approach is delivering this AI coaching not just through the smartphone apps or text message, but also using AI smart speaker that like the ones many of us have at home. This study compared the effect of AI smart speaker with smart text messages. This trial was done in obese cancer survivors, and the primary outcome was mean steps per day over a 4 weeks period. The group that only received the smartphone text message did not show a significant increase in step count, but in the group that used AI smart speaker, that was a meaningful improvement in their daily steps. Now let's look at another approach, real-time exercise feedback. This method uses a smartphone camera and a convolutional neural network to analyze a person's posture during exercise and give instant feedback on whether it's being done correctly. To test this idea, 14 days program was developed. The intervention group used this AI-based coaching app, while the control group just followed the basic video streaming network. So, participants using the AI coaching app showed the improvement in the SF36 score, which is measure of quality of life. And there was also reduction in lower back pain, suggesting that this kind of smart feedback can be both effective and practical. Also, in the treatment satisfaction section, participants showed overall positive feedback toward the program. Many say they were satisfied with experience and would be willing to recommend it to others and participate again. However, when asked whether they would be willing to pay more for this program compared to the control, the answer were pretty much the same across both groups. Let's move to patients with diabetes. Could we use similar feedback system to increase physical activity in this population? Clash feedback methods have been around for quite some time, but in this study, researchers took it a step further. They use a reinforcement learning algorithm to decide which type of message would be most effective based on the user's previous response. For example, negative feedback like this, you need to exercise to reach your activity goals. Please remember to exercise tomorrow. Just that. But positive feedback relative to others, you have so achieved n percent of your weekly activity goal, you are exercising more than average person in your group. Keep up the good work. That's styles. So surprisingly, the way patient responds to this message vary greatly. In the analysis, class 1 included patients who were unresponsive. They didn't really change their behavior no matter what type of message they received. But class 3 included patients who were highly responsive. They increased their activity when they received the right kind of feedback. So it's not just about sending message. It's about learning what type of motivation work for each individual. Because these programs involve many different types of patients, having the right feedback algorithm is essential to guide each person in positive direction. One important finding was that stability of the learning algorithm remains stronger over the time. More importantly, when compared to the control group, those who received personalized feedback from the algorithm showed greater improvement in HbA1c levels. Another study explored a more modern approach, combining physical activity trackers, smart scales, and mobile app. Patients used the app to self-monitor, and in one group, that information was also used for feedback. This was a randomized control study that followed around 500 people for 1 year. The primary outcome was percent weight change, and the goal was to see how well this digital tool could help with weight loss. The results showed that about 25% of participants in both groups achieved meaningful weight loss, both groups. However, there was not a significant difference between the groups, suggesting the feedback alone or feedback plus feedback or not group. There were few reasons why that happened. For example, when participants actually opened the feedback message, those who checked them more often show greater weight loss. So it was not just about receiving the message. It was about engaging with them. Also, people who frequently open the messages more likely to meet their calories goal on more days. This shows that consistent feedback can support better self-monitoring and healthier lifestyle choice. There was also a secondary analysis of this study that used machine learning to find out which factor had the most impact on success. The most important factor is here, whether the participant achieved their physical activity goals in the very first week. That means if someone got off to a strong, motivated start, they were much more likely to succeed in the long run. Another key factor, how often they open the feedback over the 12 months. So ongoing engagement really matters. Other contributing factors include the baseline BMI, how consistently they were able to meet their calorie goals. Lastly, there was also a different approach to the keys, AI tools to monitor exercise form and even to assess whether someone is maintaining the correct posture during a workout. On the left side, you can see the smartphone-based exercise game, the correct posture maintaining program. This program used the phone's camera to analyze the user's posture in real time. The game only progresses when the participant is in the correct position. On right, we know the Nintendo Switch games. So when comparing the two groups, Sukiya, the games, Nintendo Switch group, we all know, both showed a reduction in BMI after intervention. There was also a positive change in VO2 max, which increased in both groups after exercise period. When looking at the interaction between the time and group, the difference was statistically significant, suggesting that AI-driven game may have had a strong impact. So this is very important. This connects well with the finding from the large-scale survey that explored how exercise motivation related to physical activity and physical fitness. About 2,500 people took part in this survey. When researchers analyzed that motivates people to exercise, they found that men tend to value health, competence, social factors more than women did, and they found the women tended to value appearance. We all know that physical activity is important, right? But actually encouraging people to move more is not that easy. Many traditional programs didn't show consistent success, especially if they didn't last long or included enough people. But that's why people are now looking into AI to help promote physical activities. AI can give personalized feedback, help set goals, and motivate users through things like the chatbot, virtual coach, and even real-time exercise guidance. But not everyone responds the same way. So personalized approaches are very important. That's where AI has great potential, I think. Thank you for your attention.